Hey guys, welcome back to Canon Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing episode 4 of What If, and the star of this episode is Doctor Strange. And I have to admit, guys, his standalone film just did nothing for me. I didn't like his character, and I know that he's supposed to be an arrogant doctor. I'm aware of that. He's supposed to be the next Tony Stark in the universe, and we do get that vibe from him. I can totally see him leading at one point, but the reason why people gravitate towards Tony Stark is because even though he's a bit of an arrogant ass, he's still fun. He's very sarcastic. He's, you gotta love him. You gotta love Tony Stark. So I didn't get that vibe from Stephen Strange. Maybe it's because I wanted him to be like the Sorcerer Supreme already. And for me, when someone has a power set like he does, like Captain Marvel, for example, I personally don't need to see the origin and how they got their powers. I would just like to see them at their peak, like the height of their powers, where they know how to use them already. And that's why I absolutely love Doctor Strange in Infinity War. I love him in his little cameos that he makes. So the writing for him after his standalone was top notch in my personal opinion. So anyways, that's the little bit of backstory of how I feel about Doctor Strange. This episode was really emotional. I also found that the animation was better. It was a bit more polished and cleaner for some strange reason from, the first 3 episodes that we got. This one, you could play with the story a lot more with the visuals. And that's what I really enjoyed about this 4th episode. So we get a what if scenario with the Watcher, Jeffrey Wright, being a bit more involved in like telling us what was happening. So that's what I enjoyed about it. Just because it is the 4th episode, we have 10 episodes in the What If series. So the Watcher has to creep in at certain moments. And this one was perfect because Doctor Strange does play with time. I thought this episode did have a bit more heart than the other 3. As much as we love T'Challa, as much as I love T'Challa, that episode was a lot more fun. And the reason why that was heartfelt and emotional was because of Chadwick Boseman. It wasn't the episode itself, to be perfectly honest. Whereas this one, in the 4th episode, we get to see what happens when Christine, who is played by Rachel McAdams, really happy she came back for this, dies. Christine is the heart of Doctor Strange in this particular universe. So instead of Doctor Strange losing his hands, he loses his heart in this universe. And I thought that it was really interesting to see the lengths that Steven would go to in order to bring Christine back in this particular universe. So I found that really interesting. It was very emotional. We've all had that thought process after losing a loved one, and how many times we would think about bringing them back, the possibility of like, what could we do if we had this level of magic, or life was different, or the universe worked differently. We've had those thoughts. So for Doctor Strange to be able to kind of show how him affecting time in bringing back Christine would affect the entire universe, it was really cool to just see the endless possibilities, but also just to get that emotion from Benedict Cumberbatch as well. I thought he was a great voice actor for Stephen Strange in this case. And even Rachel McAdams, it was fun to hear her because realistically, in that standalone, she had nothing to do. And it bothered me because it's Rachel freaking McAdams. So I'm really happy that they brought her back. The thing with this episode is that I wish it was like the 3rd installment in a Doctor Strange trilogy. I don't know what they're doing with the Multiverse of Madness, but in this particular episode, when the Ancient One said that she split one version of Doctor Strange in 2. So there's like a misunderstood Stephen Strange that is like traveling through time, absorbing other energies and powers from different creatures, magical creatures and stuff like that, which was also really cool to see. And you can only do that in animation. I couldn't really picture it in live action just because it would cost a lot of money in regards to the special effects. So that's why, again, animation is a great medium, and that's why we're able to see time passing. We're able to see these creatures. We're able to see like the capes battling each other. So that was a lot of fun as well. And it adds so much character to these like inanimate objects, so I thought that was really fun. But yeah, the Ancient One kind of split Doctor Strange in two. We have a misunderstood, not necessarily an evil twin Doctor Strange, but he was so lost in the Eye of Agamotto. He was lost in that time loop of trying to save Christine and trying to be this all-powerful being in order to bring her back to life, and that is literally impossible, as we all know. So, you know, the Ancient One did bring up that there are, you know, these absolute moments within each universe that can't be undone. And that is a valuable piece of information moving forward, because sometimes the death of a loved one in a hero's life is kind of necessary to push them forward with these hero stories, especially with Peter Parker and Spider-Man. So I don't know if Uncle Ben is going to be brought up in No Way Home. I really hope that he maybe has like a flashback or something, because if Doctor Strange is in No Way Home, then Uncle Ben has to pop up somewhere. So I really do think that these little tidbits of information in alternate universes, it's going to help us understand what's happening in No Way Home and then in the Multiverse of Madness. So I think it's really important to watch these episodes just because of what it means for the multiverse in general. We see two different versions of Doctor Strange, which is really interesting because Benedict Cumberbatch plays them both quite well. I know he's voice acting in this, but it's still a different version. It was really interesting. I love this. I wish they would have kept it for Doctor Strange 3 or 4, whatever you want to do with it, because his tie to Christine got me emotionally invested in Doctor Strange and his story. Whereas what happened in the standalone in the MCU, the live action, I had zero ties to Doctor Strange. I didn't really care for his character whatsoever. So I feel like this established a more emotional connection, which I appreciated. And I'm really excited for Benedict Cumberbatch because he is the center of the MCU right now, especially because like Loki busts the multiverse wide open, and then we have What If. So having these shows back to back, having the No Way Home trailer right after, all of this explaining the multiverse, we're going to go into the Multiverse of Madness with so much knowledge about what could possibly happen. So I think they're doing a really great job exploring these characters, adding these layers, and I really enjoyed episode 4, especially the visuals. They're getting better and better with each episode. So if you guys enjoyed episode 4 of What If, let me know in the comments below. Is it your favorite episode? Are you excited to see what else they can do with Doctor Strange in the MCU? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always find me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.